Hey guys, I'm Dusty, and this is my wife Elizabeth, and we're the Marshalls. We're here to introduce you guys to our new YouTube channel, the Marshalls Marital Musings, and we're hoping that this can be a channel that comes to you guys and alongside you to help you along in marriage, or maybe you're thinking about being married. But we're trying to give a Christian perspective of some of the things that we've gone through and just real life issues, and let you guys know who we are, understanding that marriage is not always this nice and pretty thing that happens that you see on TV, but sometimes it gets messy, and every now and then in that mess, we have to find the beauty inside of that and come alongside of each other and understand the importance of what marriage is and the context of what Scripture tells us it is, pointing us to Christ and the symbolism that we have in that and how we relate to God and those types of things. So, who we are and what we do, we're hoping this video will let you guys know a little bit about that.
Like he said, I'm Elizabeth and he's Dusty. And we have 3 kids. We have Colin, he's our only son. We have Raylan, who is our middle daughter. And we have Madeline, who is just almost a year old at this point. We have been married today, as of today, for 10 years. So happy anniversary to you. And for 4 of those years, we lived in New Mexico. It's where we were born, raised, both of us. We grew up there. We met in college, and we've kind of been together ever since. So he's my college sweetheart. Ain't that neat?
I am. That's awesome.
4 of those years were spent doing a little bit of ministry here and there throughout New Mexico, and then for the last 6 years, we've been here in Fort Worth working on our educations at Southwestern Seminary, and along with getting our master's degrees, I also homeschool our kids. We both serve in ministry positions within our church, and we both have some very strong ministry passions. For me, my ministry passion is women and the role that God has called them to within the home and within the marriage. A lot of people don't like the idea of women being called the helpers or the helpmeet, but I love it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's so uplifting, and it's encouraging to know that we have a very specific role and purpose. And that's my goal in my ministry, is to help other women to come alongside them in their marriages and in their parenting, to really embrace that idea of being the helper and the keeper of the home. I think if we can get more women willing to come in and take back their homes, we could do amazing things in our country. We could really raise up the next generation of leaders and of strong families if we just get back to where we're supposed to be. So, Dusty, your passions?
Yeah, and for me, my passion has usually been to work with men inside of the home and inside of churches and things like that. I've served as a senior pastor in New Mexico and currently serve as an associate pastor here in Texas. And through those times, some of the things that I've found is whenever I've done marital counseling or premarital counseling, a lot of the complications come when people just don't understand what marriage really is or what Scripture says about that. And men seem to not really understand the focal point of what that means and what to do with it and where to go with that and how that works out. And because of that, they find complications. They don't understand how to lead. They don't understand what it all entails, and they kind of look at it as, well, I'm just getting married because this wonderful woman here wants to be married to me, so I'm just going to be excited about that and move forward. When in all actuality, that's not what's going on here. Marriage itself is a symbol pointing to Christ, pointing to how we are related to God and inside of that marriage, and how Christ relates to His bride, which is the church, and we get to show that to the world inside of our marriage. And men, we get to take the lead on that. We get to do those types of things as we do that. So as we move forward and we make those things happen, I know for my life, I grew up most of my life without my dad, and later in life we got to reconnect, and we have a wonderful relationship now, and it's been progressing. We've been doing some amazing things as we do that. So those types of things that I've learned growing up is that, as our pastor was talking about the other day, he was talking about a song that had kind of been a little over romanticized, and a lot of guys thought it may have been too girly, and he just sat down and said, guys, come on. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about us as men being a bride running into Christ's arms in this song. But what we're talking about is we're talking about us running into the arms of our Father, and what that feels like whenever you were a child. And I realized it's something that I personally have never understood or felt as a child. I don't know what it's like to run into my Father's arms, but I know what it's like to rely on God. I know what it's like to rely on my Father. And today I know what it's like to come home and have my children run into my arms. And so those are things that are important. Those are things that are responsible. And as those providers and those protectors in our home, we get to come alongside our wives and also help make our home a home. Make our house into that home that we can move forward with our family living inside of it, and a legacy that will be left behind that proclaims the gospel, that does the good things that comes out of that, helping other people and showing other people the light and the way of who Christ is. And so, in all of that, like I said, it gets messy sometimes, and it's not always pleasant. And you're going to have disagreements. There's going to be things that are hard. Um, but we've gone through some of those things, and we're hoping with this channel we can just pour into you some of the life lessons we've had, and show you some of the practicalities of marriage, just in a general scope and sense.
Yep, so what to expect here at Marshall's Marital Musings. Every Thursday we're going to be having a new episode come out, so make sure that you subscribe and you click that little bell there so that you can see what's going on, you can keep up with us. We're going to have some practical tips, we're going to have some good advice, along with biblical backing on what the scriptures say about how this marriage stuff is supposed to work. The world will tell you a lot of things about how it's all about you and how you just need to feel good and you just need to be happy. But the Bible tends to say a little bit different than that. So we're going to really dig into what that has to say. And we're going to give some good tips and tricks we hope that we've learned over the last 10 years to make things run smooth and a little bit easier. And the occasional Q&A. We want to hear from you, our viewers. We want to know what you need to hear, what you need help with, so that we can really come alongside and pour into you. And we're also going to have the occasional guest. I'd love to have some people who have been a little more seasoned and experienced in marriage, as well as some other friends of ours who are in the same place, and find out what they do to make their marriages work. Because this is a team effort. Sometimes it takes getting to know what's going on around you to really understand how to make things work. And you can take the things that work and take the things that don't and really apply to them. And like we said, guys, we've got kids, so you're going to hear some background noise, but that's okay because this is life. And that's what we're doing day in and day out. It's messy, it's fun, it's beautiful, and it's what God called us to. And we're super excited to get to share this with you, share this journey. We have a Twitter account, we have Facebook. We'll post those links down there in the description so you can follow along on all of those different social medias and see just kind of what life in the Marshall house is like on occasion. And we just hope that we can be an encouragement, we can be uplifting. We just want to pour in to anyone who stumbles across our little corner of YouTube so that we can make sure that we are helping to develop and build strong marriages and strong, healthy relationships with the Lord.
And guys, that's pretty much who we are and what to expect. Like we said, you're probably going to hear our kids in the background quite often because that's where we're at. We're in our home and we're letting our kids be themselves. And hopefully we'll be able to talk about what to do every now and then when your kids actually don't listen to you. We'll also be covering just some simple topics of cooking, communication, all of those types of things. So we look forward to going along this journey with you. We hope that we'll see some more YouTube just channels and episodes to come here at M Cubed from just musings of what I might say and some individual episodes with just me, and maybe the same thing with Liz as well. And as one of our friends asked earlier in one of the first intros that we gave, if there might be some sermons that I might do, and that's even possible. So guys, whatever it is, whatever comments you have, whatever suggestions you might make, just leave them down at that comment section below. And don't forget to click that subscribe and click on that nice fancy bell so you guys can get all the notifications of what we're doing. But until next time, guys, we hope you like the introduction. And starting tomorrow, we'll start hopefully punching out some episodes for you guys to listen to on all types of different topics inside of marriage. All right, guys. Thanks again.